I'm Dr. Patrick Wilcox. I teach physics and astronomy here at SC4.
Hello, my name is Crissy Cook, and I am the Educational and Flight Director of the Experience Center and the Challenger Learning Center here at SC4.
What we're going to do today is talk about eclipse safety and how to actually view an eclipse safely. So first of all, if you can find a pair of very nice, properly certified eclipse glasses, that's the best way to view the eclipse. You can come down here and view the eclipse at SC4 on April 8th. That's a Monday. And we'll be running from about 2 to 4:30. The maximum part of the eclipse is at 3:15. We'll have telescopes on hand, we'll have glasses on hand for you to use, and come down and enjoy the nature show, if you will. But if you can't make it down here for some reason, or just want another extra project to do, we're going to show you how to make a pinhole camera using everyday stuff at home. Just recycled cardboard, some aluminum foil, and tape.
And it's important that if you don't have safety approved glasses to view the solar eclipse, that you do make something along these lines, because if you view the eclipse without a safe way of viewing it, you could do some serious damage to your eyes. So this pinhole viewer is one way to safely view the eclipse and not have to worry about that if you do not have approved glasses. And it's also important to note that if you're viewing it through telescopes, binoculars, or like a camera, those are not approved lenses to safely view the eclipse.
To make a pinhole camera, we're going to need a few just household items from around your house. First off, just grab some cardboard or some cardstock. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. You just want to be able to hold it up and it not flop over. So old boxes of some sort, whether it's a cereal box, works perfect. Make sure it's clean. Just something you're able to cut up. Second thing we're going to need is some aluminum foil. Just household aluminum foil. You're not going to need a sheet as big as this. We just have a big sheet out. We're just going to use a little square of it so we can cut that out. And of course, to cut all this stuff, you'll need some scissors, some nice sharp scissors because you'll be cutting the cardboard, and then some sort of tape. We have both masking tape, scotch tape, any of that works. And then finally, you'll need something to poke a very small hole. You can use just a thumbtack or a little pin, or you can use a sewing needle, you can use a pencil, even a really sharp pencil. Any of these, as long as we can get a small hole, we'll use a thumbtack for this. So the first thing we're going to do is just cut out a portion of our box. Whatever is kind of easy to handle for you. I'm just going to take one stripe of this box. Some of it's going to fall off the table here. Just enough that we have something that we can hold on to, and we're going to put some of our foil here in the middle, so we want to be able enough to manipulate it. Now on the foil.
All right, so what you want to do is when you are cutting out the square of the foil, you want to make sure that you cut the foil large enough to cover the entire opening that you do cut into your piece of cardboard. So if you end up cutting it a little big and it overhangs, totally fine, that's actually perfect. You do not want any open air gaps where you can actually see that is not covered with foil. So I'm just going to give myself a nice healthy square right here, and this should be big enough to cover the square, but if it's not, of course, you can always go back and just cut another piece that will fit the opening that you do put into your cardboard.
Now we're going to just cut a hole in our piece of cardboard. I'm going to fold this in half a little bit, and I'm just going to make it so that way I can put the foil in there here in a little bit. Cut some edges here, see if I can make a nice clean opening for our foil. And so now what I have is an opening that we can tape the foil into. And let's see if we maybe,
Yep.
Oh, we need a little bit bigger piece
All
of foil.
right, see?
That's okay.
And that's totally okay, and that's why we can always recut it. So again, you want to make sure that your foil is big enough to cover the entire opening, and then we're going to end up taping these edges down.
So it's okay that's even a little bit big. This is actually okay. So we have a hole, we have our foil, and I've got some tape here that we've pre-cut. So we're going to just kind of try and keep this as flat as possible here, tape some of these edges down.
Oop, that one's a little crooked. There we go. Beautiful.
All we're doing is just securing this aluminum foil to our lens here. So we've got this opening with the aluminum foil in it, and it's taped down. The last thing we're going to do here is take our sharp object, whether again it's a pencil, a needle point, one of these just thumbtacks, and I'm just going to very carefully try to poke a hole through the center, and all you need is just a little hole. You don't, if it's a really big thing, you don't necessarily need to push all the way through, or if you're using a pencil, just try to get the very tip of it in there. You just need about as small as a hole as you can make. Now, our pinhole camera is ready. Doesn't really matter which direction we have here, but what we're going to want to find is something white. So when you take this outside to look at the sun, you're not going to use it actually as like a lens to look through, but instead, you're going to find the sun, put the sun behind you, and let the sun actually shine down onto the pinhole, and that's going to project an image down onto whatever surface is below you. And you have to move both your target and your camera a little bit to find an image, and then you can see the eclipse that way.
So the pinhole camera is a wonderful way of viewing the solar eclipse if you do not have the proper eye protection to view it directly. But if you would like to get a pair of solar eclipse glasses, you can come on down to the college at SC4 to the College Center, where we will be offering the regulation required solar eclipse glasses that is safe to view the eclipse directly. And we will also have our planetarium available for visitation. The eclipse event lasts from 2 to 4:30 on April 8th, and the max part of the viewing is at what time?
The maximum is at 3:15 in the afternoon.
And what is our totality?
So we will see a 98.1% eclipse. So that means that the sun's light will be blocked by 98.1%. So there'll only be 2% of the sun that's left on there. It'll be just a little kind of spot, kind of looks like a diamond ring almost, where there'll be one spot of the eclipse that comes through. Even though it's a small spot, you still need eclipse glasses to see it safely. Otherwise, you can use the projection method with a pinhole camera. And again, we'll have our planetarium. We'll actually have some telescopes, so you can see it up close even with a solar telescope. We have safe ones that are designed for looking at the sun. So we'll have that as well. We'll have the planetarium experience just to kind of do for a little bit while you're there as well as some other games, water, a bunch of activities. So be a lot of fun.
So we would love to see you come on down to SC4 and the College Center to take part in our solar eclipse event. But if you're unable to, please just have fun with this event. It's a very special time, and just make sure you're doing it safely.